afternoon. How are you all doing today?
Oh, that's great.
Well, today we're going to start out by just doing a quick poll. Have you ever thought about being your own boss at any
Yes.
given time? Yes. Well, today we're going to dive a little bit into that concept and what it could look like if you ever considered that, becoming your own boss. So today is a step-by-step guide to making that a reality. Did you know that starting a business is just like falling in love? Did you know that?
No.
Because of the uncertainty, the funny feeling that you get to go for it, not knowing how to start or what to say, and sometimes just afraid to take the risk of falling in love with someone. Well, starting a business is almost just like that. So with that, I'm going to share with you today some tools and information for those of you who may be interested in thinking about or starting a business or a nonprofit. Would that be okay? Okay. Like I said before, starting a business is like falling in love to a degree. Personally, I can certainly understand the feeling of falling in love. There are equal parts that are exhilarating, and there are also the scary parts that are just horrifying and terrible at times. So for every amazing, magical thing that may happen in falling in love, equally those things happen when creating a business. And then there's also the things that threaten or come to derail your dreams of either falling in love or having this business. Same thing. So even down to the small things like defining your visual identity can be met with potential problems. And we all know who Henry Ford is, the maker of the Ford Motor Company. He once said that when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind and not with it. Right? So I am a nonprofit and small business consultant. I've been doing this since 2008. I work within the community with individuals and with a lot of businesses, small and large, and I help each one of them realize their dream of either becoming a nonprofit or a small business owner. Currently, I serve as a community director, and I work alongside local government, organizations, businesses, and other nonprofits. With that said, today I'm going to endeavor to share with you a few points. One is, what is entrepreneurship? Why is entrepreneurship right for you? Some trends in that field regarding IT, economic, demographic, and the characteristics of entrepreneurship. Okay? And just how to get started. You ready? So from SBA.gov, which is Small Business Association, they have stated that more than 11% of Americans run their own businesses. In an average month, Americans start about 465,000 new businesses across the United States. The past 2 decades have shown a heightened interest in having your own business, and people choose entrepreneurship for many reasons. Would you all kind of agree with that? And also, these reasons can be they just don't like work, and who can agree with that? And their ideas just to, fulfill customer needs. All right, so what is entrepreneurship? An entrepreneur is a person who seeks a profitable opportunity and takes the necessary risks to set up and operate a business. Okay? This is different from small business owners in their strong desire to make their business grow. Differ from managers through their overriding responsibility to use resources of the organization to accomplish their goals, and willing to take risks. And why? Why would you want to be an entrepreneur? To be your own boss, self-management, financial success. You create your own wealth. You tell yourself when to go to work, when to take a break, when to go home, when not to work. Create your own schedule. You have job security. We see that a lot of companies, especially post-COVID, have gone out of business or laid a lot of people off. So as your own boss, you control all of that. And starting a business gives you a better quality of life where you can go on vacation, when to work, you can work on vacation. It just depends on what you decide your business would like to be. When starting my business years ago, I considered all of these factors. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be able to make my own schedule. I didn't want to work for anyone. I didn't want to punch a clock. I didn't want to have to be told when to take my lunch, when to go to the bathroom, when not to go to the bathroom. I just needed that level of freedom in my life. All right. We see that a lot of organizations now are virtual post-COVID. The climate and the environment sometimes dictate the need for a specific business. And so that gives each of us the opportunity to just direct our own fate, and it draws us to an entrepreneurial spirit like a moth to a flame. And so the University of Phoenix reports that 63% of adults under the age of 30 want to run their own business one day. And with that, we look at education. So a lot of colleges and universities offer these classes now because they realize that people don't want the traditional education of, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get a degree, and I'm going to work for someone. It's now, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to learn these skill sets so that I can have my own business. Some colleges are helping students to launch their own businesses. A lot of programs teach entrepreneurship through continuing education classes, which I've taken a lot of those classes at the local community college here. IT is another trend that is happening within entrepreneurship world. Technology has given us the opportunity with different tools to create greater competition. So when you look at the social media trends, if you have a number of followers, then someone will give you free things, or you can create a whole business just from having followers follow you with whatever it is that you like or don't like. So you can create a business, just out of thin air these days. You can use technology to help revolutionize industries like I just talked about. Who knew that being a TikTok follower would allow someone who created that TikTok, reel to become rich? When you have 1 million followers and you have companies wanting to send you things because you have all these people following you and influencing those people, so you'll be an influencer. We know that the population now, people are living longer. So with people living longer, jobs don't have you on their job for 100 years, but people are living 70, 80 years old and still are very much able to work. My mother has a transportation business, and she's 75 as of yesterday, and she still drives clients from the doctor's office to back to home because it's a need in the state that she lives in. So the culture and the climate there created an opportunity for her to have a business well into her late 70s. So the aging of our population dictates sometimes that when the companies retire you, what do? So we have a large growth of the Hispanic population into our culture now. That's a trend. And then the growth of 2-income families is huge. So sometimes, either mom or dad can either stay at home and work, both can work. It just depends. But you have the opportunity now more than ever to create whatever type of framework for your family. The characteristics of an entrepreneurial person would be that you have vision, you have an overall idea of how to make your business idea successful. You are high energy, you have a high energy level, you are always excited about whatever it is that you are trying to launch, and people feel that energy. You have a need to achieve. You want to work hard because you want to win, you want to excel. Your self-confidence, you're fearless in the face of difficult odds. Your tolerance for failure is high, so you're not easily discouraged when things look a certain way because you've seen your vision of what it's going to be, so things will happen and you're not discouraged by that. Your creativity is it never stops, so you're always innovative. You're thinking of ways to overcome circumstances that may pop up. Your tolerance for ambiguity is very high. You don't always have to have it in black and white to keep going. You just know that there is a level of ambiguity that comes with starting a business, and you're okay with that. And your internal locus of control is solid. Like, you believe that you control your own fate to a degree. Okay? So, how do we get started, you ask? Well, first, you want to write a business plan. You want to choose a location. You want to have your business financed. You want to determine what legal structure that you want your business to fall under, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You want to register your business per your state requirement, and you want to obtain any license or permits that your state requires for you to be in compliance, and then you want to understand your responsibilities if you hire people to work under you. So when we talk about your business plan, you want to have an executive summary. You want to have a company description of what you do. You want to have a market analysis, meaning you don't want to just start a business where there's not a need. So you're going to kind of look at, if you have an idea, you want to make sure that people need that in the space that you're trying to start that business. Otherwise, nobody's going to be attracted to it, and it's not going to take off. Typically, solving a problem creates a business. You want to have organization and management. Lay out the organizational structure of your company for ease of transparency. You want to service or product line. So what do you sell? How does it benefit your customers? What's the product life cycle? And then you're talking about marketing and sales. How do you plan to market your business? What's your strategy? Funding requests. Be sure to include funding requirements and how you will use the money given. Financial projections, meaning how much do you think you're going to make over the next 30 days, 60, 90 days, year, based on trends. So when we talk about choosing a location, you want to think about your image, what you want to look like. Any competition around you that has a business like yours or not at all. You want to think about your local labor market. Do you have the need for this business in the area, and will it employ anyone? Do you have a plan for future growth? If you anticipate future growth, look at any extra space or building capacity that you may need. How close are you to suppliers if you have something that you're selling that's a physical thing? Safety, think about all the crime that may be associated with your business. Will your employees feel safe or not in coming to your business if it's a brick and mortar? Any zoning regulations if it's a building that the city may require, the county, but if you're virtual and working from home, even those zoning, there are requirements around that too, so just consider all of that. When you want to finance your business, you can take out a small loan. There are venture capitalists. There are angels, funding angels, so to speak. There are people that like to privately support people that start businesses. Your friends, family, banks, corporations may support you. Philanthropists, if you want to start a nonprofit. Universities sometimes have funding, like small business incubators, can help you start your business funding-wise. And when we talked earlier about the legal structure of your business, there are certain business structures that you will fall under. You're either going to fall under sole proprietorship, which is just you being the sole owner of your business. You can have a general partnership where it's two or more of you, and all the legal things that surround either you being a sole proprietor or going into business with someone else. You can become a corporation, which is a separate legal entity from people, meaning that it'll have its own identity, much like you have your own social security number. Your corporation will have its own quote unquote social security number or EIN number. An LLC, same thing, it's separate. It separates you from the business. So if anything happens, someone sues you, they'll sue the business and not you. So personally, all your personal things won't get tied up and taken if something terrible happens. And there's a limited partnership, and then there's also the nonprofit, which is a tax-exempt organization that the federal government will give you permission not to pay taxes if you're doing charitable work for the community. So then you want to determine if your business name has been claimed online by anybody else here in the state, and you do that by checking the state website. And if it's available, then you apply for that name, and then you get the EIN number, which is like your social security number for the organization, and then you complete any documentation or paperwork for your legal structure, pay your appropriate fees to the state, and then they will issue you the designated status that you requested. Also, you want to check the domain name. So if you want to get a website, you want to make sure that that name is available with your website. You can check that on Whois database for domain names. Okay. Also, consider your marketing. Any of the social media that's out there, you can use that to promote your business. Utilize the latest trends in marketing, such as social media and traditional methods to reach your audience. You want to build a website. Wix is very simple to use, and Weebly, WordPress as well. Legally, you want to make sure that you protect your business. So as you grow, you may want to consider trademarks, patents, copyrights to protect any creative work, music, literature, any artwork. That's a real thing. Okay? So hopefully today you have found it helpful with these resources to help you determine your entrepreneurial journey. Again, its trends, characteristics, and processes are all a part of a wonderful world of exploration that has the potential to lead you to your destination. What's really keeping you from being an entrepreneur? What's stopping you? You don't know? There are risks, yes, no doubt, but there's nothing forcing you not to take them. If you want to become an entrepreneur, there's nothing really holding you back, right? Take a leap and lead the way